last day. Chapter 49, A Story to Tell. That sounds interesting. It seems like a billion sets of eyes are looking at me sitting up here on the stage at school. I was so nervous about this that I couldn't eat a bite of breakfast. Now, my belly growls so loud, I'm sure they can all hear it. Fire did. She pokes me in the side with her bony little elbow and grins. Karina, sitting on the other side of me, cuts Fire a look. I glance over at the other girls from Troop 423. None look exactly thrilled to be on stage. Next, Piper Trudeau and Firefly Girls Troop 423 are here to tell everybody about a special project they are working on. Randall Christensen, our student president, says, "Let's give them our attention." He turns and motions for me to stand up. I think my butt is super glued to the chair. Someone in the audience giggles. Karina and Fire put their hands on my back and push me up. Randall smiles. "Knock 'em dead," he says, handing me the microphone. The rest of the girls stand, and like a swelling wave, we move into the spotlight. I look out at the faces looking up at me. Some look curious. Some look bored. Some look like they're trying to figure out why in the world they should listen to what I have to say. I hear Mama's voice from this morning say, "Everyone loves a good story, Piper, especially one with a dog in it." I feel my friends behind me. I relax a little. I take a deep breath. "Hi, I'm Piper Trudeau, and I have a story to tell you." "What kind of story?" some kid in the front says. "A story about a dog and an old woman and brownies and making a difference," I say. "Can you believe we ran out of order forms?" Fire says for the millionth time as we walk home in the snow. "I purely can't," I say. Karina grins. "You're a born storyteller, Piper." A smile lights up all my insides. I've always said my superpower was selling Firefly gourmet brownies, but now I'm thinking it might really be in telling a story. Darla does a happy little skip. "Your mom's gonna have to get more forms and more boxes of brownies." Karina nods. "I'll let her know as soon as we get home." My heart is not quite light enough to skip, though. I just hope everybody gets their order forms and money back by the end of the week, I say. We're starting to run short on time. "Aw, don't be such a wet blanket," Fire says. "Everything's going great. Jewel's gonna move to Hartwell Manor. Baby's gonna be her special emotion dog, and they'll live happily ever after." I kick at a plastic bottle. "Mama talked with Jules' caseworker yesterday morning." "And?" Karina says, eyeing me. "And," I say, not looking at them, "the hospital has agreed to keep Jewel for 1 week while her medication starts working again." "But?" Karina asks, stopping. I sigh. "But that's the longest they can keep her there. If she doesn't have a place to go by Thanksgiving, she has to leave anyway." "Where to?" Fire asks. "Most likely to the emergency shelter," I say. "But if Baby is her emotional support animal, he can go there too, right?" Daria asks. "No," I say. "The emergency shelter has different rules for emotional support animals than service dogs," I say. "It's complicated." "All the more reason to tell their story the best we can then," Karina says. When Daddy gets home from work, he grins and hands me a huge wad of money. "There must be 1,000,000 ones and 5s and 10s, even a few 20s. He laughs at my eyes big as dinner plates. "Sold every one of those boxes of brownies, Peeper. I bet I can sell the same amount on Monday, too, if you can get more boxes." How much is it? I ask. Daddy shrugs. Don't know. More than a little, I suspect. I sit down at the table, carefully separate the bills into stacks and start counting. I gasp. I count a second time to make sure that I'm right. Daddy, I say, there's $138 here. I can hardly believe it. I quickly do the math in my head. That only leaves us a little over $300 to raise. Mama comes out of the bathroom braiding her wet hair. That's wonderful, honey. Let's put it in an envelope and take it down to Mrs. Bailey. She's the one handling the business end of this. Riding the elevator down with Mama, I sing over and over in my head. Only 300 more. Only 300 more. I curl my toes inside my shoes. Our plan might actually work. Guess how much money Daddy gave me from brownie sales at work today? I ask Karina, snapping my fingers with excitement when we get to their room. Karina shrugs. She's doing her homework on her bed like I do. $60? Her little sister Chloe bounces on the other bed. $1 million! She shouts. I laugh. More than 60 and less than $1 million. I hand the envelope to Mrs. B. She looks at the amount Mama wrote on the outside of the envelope and whistles. That's fantastic. Yeah, I say. And Daddy says he thinks he can sell that much again on Monday if you can get more brownies. Mrs. B smiles. I just got off the phone with the district troop leader. She'll be bringing over a bunch more boxes and order forms first thing tomorrow. She takes the envelope and puts it in a metal lockbox. This is a great start, Piper. But don't forget, we only get to keep a portion of our brownie sales money. My heart drops down 10 floors on the elevator of disappointment. I conveniently forgotten that little fact. I look from Mrs. Bailey to Karina. Karina shakes her head. The National Firefly Girls Council keeps 60% of what we raise to cover things like the cost of the brownies, vests, badges, craft supplies, that sort of thing. How could I have forgotten that? 40% of $138 isn't much. All the more reason to keep selling brownies, Mama says. Mrs. B touches my cheek. Don't you worry, Piper. I'll let you know as soon as those boxes come in. We've just started. We don't have time, though, to just start. We've got to be over halfway done.